Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So today we do have super special mega awesome scrumptious Diablo war. We're going to be using Diablo for every single fight. I will accompany him with Odin's pre-fights as well. Wasn't really that necessary to be honest, but hey, why not? And then on top of it all, we will also have the... well, it used to be Kingpin synergy, now it's Red Skull synergy for Diablo, but obviously the point is the same. It is the synergy that turns all of his poison debuffs into passives, and that is gonna come quite handy in general, and you also gain more potent poison, so why not? Right, so we are going up against Savage Squad, so shout out to the guys over there. There are, I think, quite a few members who at one point or another used to be at New Nation. And I also do want to give Savage Squad definitely a special shout out in the sense that they are one of the 5-6, I'd say, clean Masters level alliances. Unfortunately, that is the state of the game, but well, if you do not believe me, wait for the video that I'm going to upload later today. But yeah, there are some alliances relatively high up there missing some members today. We're going to discuss that in a separate video. But either way, Savage Squad, for Loki, obviously New Nation, LVT, I believe Salty is doing their best as well to make sure that everything is above the board there. DSVG, and yeah, I think there might be somebody that I'm missing as well. I'm not saying those are the only ones, but those are the ones that I am, well, certain that are trying their best to be as squeaky clean as possible. So definitely, well done to them for that. And let's start the war. So we have first a random kind of warm-up fight here against Valkyrie. It has spiked armor, and combat deja vu prowess, I think. But basically, since I'm going to be using Diablo, it doesn't really matter now. The one annoying thing about Valkyrie is her debuff shrug of chance should be close to 0 or 0 without any bulwark passives active. But because of the masteries, block proficiency mastery, she does have a chance to shrug stuff off even if she has 0 bulwarks. And that means that you always kind of need to be careful. The shrug of chance isn't like super high for you to try and never parry her and stuff like that, but we're going to see that I think 2 out of 3 parries that I'm going to attempt here, she's going to purify. So she purified the first one, she purified the second one as well. And the odds of that should be extremely low, but whenever I do face Valkyrie, then her purification seems to work quite well for some reason. Either way, I just dropped my level 1, I paused my poisons, sweet, and the entire fight is just going to be me doing 5-hit combos there because I do not feel kind of confident and safe enough parry heavy this fight. And we can see that the poisons are doing in their work. Diablo is healing meanwhile, offsetting all the recall damage that I may or may not have received. And we finish nice with 97% health. All is good, very simple fight. Now this next fight is also going to be relatively straightforward. We're going up against Crossbones. Now Crossbones is a global defender, so he's going to be getting the flourish buffs. And then we have Opportunist and Inevitable Power. But it's all good, nothing too special here. And again, the good thing here with Diablo going up against Crossbones is that synergy, the passive poisons. So obviously Crossbones does not have any chance at all to purify anything that I throw at him. And because of that, again, it's turned into a very simple, trivial fight. Obviously, I do not necessarily feel confident enough to parry heavy my way through this fight because Crossbones would be shrugging off a lot, and if he has Furies, he reduces my defensive ability accuracy. But just 5-hit combos, spam your level 1s, finish your combos with mediums, see how many poisons we can get at any given time, and before you know it, that Crossbones is already at like 30% health, and Diablo is taking no prisoners in this war. But there will be some extremely exciting fights happening later on. Well, I think they're exciting. I think quite cool at the very least. I mean, mildly amusing. I mean, somewhat entertaining. Okay, anyways. Now this is... I had to wait a bit in order for the rest of the fights to be taken, for my fights to be opened up. But now it's finally time to reboost and finish up this war. And I did these fights actually very recently, like less than an hour ago, I think. But here we go. So I boost up properly. as proper as I can. I activate Mystic Boost here as well. We're going to use Vulnerability Boost because here, this is a very good placement. Let me explain this. The Spider-Man on this Rich Get Richer node is very, 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 very good placement. The reason for that is because if you have buffs and you are winning Rich Get Richer race, which you would be against Spider-Man that doesn't inherently have any buffs of his own, Spider-Man still gets your power because Spider-Man gets, all of your effect-based power gain transferred to him based on how many buffs you have active. And especially since I do have the Odin's pre-fights, but even if I didn't, any power gain that I could potentially get from Rich Get Richer, he gains. And then at the same time, if I'm not getting Rich Get Richer, he probably is getting the Rich Get Richer. So it is a very, very cheeky and good placement for sure. But the problem with Spider-Man on a node like this is very straightforward. He's helpful. He is a rank 4, just like my Diablo, but he has 138k health. And as a direct result of that, well, we're going to just see. I have Indestructible 3 boost applied here, and we're going to see how the fight's going to go. So, parry, heavy. We can see that one heavy attack, the second heavy attack, he's already at 80% health, and I have the poisons halfway. He throws a special attack, good. At no point in this fight I was specifically trying to bait out special attacks. Because I thought, if he throws them, good. If he doesn't, I have Indestructible 3 boost. Now, I had 3 heavy attacks, and he had lost half of his health. Then I activated level 1. Now I have basically 4th heavy attack and 1 level 1. I could have dexed this, but I just decided to tank it on block, even if I end up taking some damage. But he was dead there. So this entire fight was not very long. It was like, 5 heavy attacks and like 2 level 1s or something. So Spider-Man's very, very good placement. I actually got worried about that fight previously, kind of like pointing it out to my officer. And, I was rightfully worried about the power gain part, but I saw that fight being done by somebody else. Yeah, that helpful is just pathetic. I do still like very much a new Spidey, by the way. He's growing on me more and more. Now, next up, I have to go up against Korg. The only thing that I really do need to be careful here is watch out when a buff on me expires, so that I do not get faltered. In order to avoid being faltered, I need to either drop a heavy attack or level 1, basically. And also, this node will give Korg power whenever I activate special attacks if he has any flourish buffs active, and he uses less power to use his special attacks. But it's actually quite useful here for Diablo, because I'm consistently keeping Korg basically at level 2. I never really need to bother with level 1. I have no real problem evading Korg's level 1, but level 2 obviously is much easier because you can just outrange it. And we can see that slowly but surely, steadily enough, that baby Korg is getting absolutely nuked down by Chad Grandpa Diablo. And even though I do not have too many poisons going on for me, in between my own personal healing, the damage that I do to Korg with my basic hits, plus obviously some poisons working in the background, not the biggest kind of stretch or the largest problem here, really. And the Korg is at 5%. So very straightforward fight, always kind of like just dealing with his level 2. And yeah, 1 minute 13 seconds, not too bad. The next fight's quite interesting as well. And that is Gorr. Now, I do think Gorr is my last death. No, Gorr is not my last death. I did die. No, wait. Could be. I did die to a Gorr, I think at the very start of the previous season. So I still kind of hold a grudge at him. Anyway, but we need to deal with the guy. So in order to do that, I can heal up the Diablo. And obviously the plan is just to get to level 3 and be done with it. In order to make getting to level 3 easier, I will use a Power Start 1 boost, because that means that I will have a level 1 available. But that level 1 is not meant to be a part of me building power to level 3. That level 1 is meant to be activated to gain immediately twice amount of power back, and basically get rid of all of Gorr's buffs at that point. And now, a bit of a dodgy situation here, where he could have punished me. It could have went a bit spicy, but it's fine. Now I just want to bait out his level 1, because now I can use a level 3. And we're going to inflict ton of poisons. I'm going to be nullifying ton of buffs, which means I'm going to get ton of power back. And that Gorr is going to be a French toasty boy. When it comes to dealing with alcoholic grandpa, even the God Butcher is powerless. And we can see 15 poisons, 16 poisons. He's absolutely melting. I'm dropping that level 2, and he continues to melt. And then I activate another level 2, but obviously it was well overkill. Anyhow, now this boss fight, this Nova actually, unfortunately, had attack boost expire. So I'm going to be taking on this Nova boss. You can see this daddy long legs Nova boss. And I will make actually a very significant mistake in this fight. And I'm pointing it out right now because I want you guys go to the comment section as soon as you see it in the fight. As soon as you see me making a major mistake in this fight, I want you guys to drop a comment if you can recognize it. After the fight, I will explain what I would do differently. Would I be doing this fight again? Obviously, having the hindsight and the experience of having went through this fight. But obviously, Diablo against Nova is going to be a relatively solid matchup. Now, I can't parry heavy him because he is stun immune. But ultimately, I don't mind him getting his flourish charges, to be honest, because we're going to be using that to feed our Mystic Dispersion later on. But first and foremost, the point is I want to get my level 1. And this is going to be where I make a mistake. I am at my level 1. And I should have been hitting his block more often, because I had to take a lot of extra hits in block because Neutralize was still active. But here we go. So I'm activating my level 1 right now to... No. So the plan was I'm going to take a bunch of hits in block, take some damage, fair enough. I'm going to get a bunch of flourish charges. Then I'm going to activate my level 1, nullify all of those, get immediately to level 3, and take the fight from there. And it basically is going fine. I took slightly bit more block damage, and ideally I would have wanted Nova to have some less power before I drop my level 3, but you know, it is what it is. Here he gained a couple of flourish charges. I'm going to use level 1. Sweet. I'm going to pause those passive furies. Grab in, and we can see that Nova's health is absolutely melting. Now I go for level 2. It obviously doesn't do too much damage because Nova takes less damage against unblockables, but here he did not really want to use special attack. And by the looks of it, I will not have enough time to get to my level 1, unfortunately, to refresh the poison. So now Nova is at like 9%, and I go for level 2. Even though he's at 3 bars of power already, I activate another level 1, but he still didn't die, and are we screwed? Of course we're not screwed, because we did have Indestructible 3 boost, and I did not get hit previously in this fight. Now, to be fair, I did kind of forgot about Indestructible 3 boost, and for a split moment I forgot that I had Indestructible 3 boost, because had I remembered it earlier, I would not have let my poisons expire. So that was the fight. And it went fine, 1 minute 55, 54 hits. But I definitely made a huge mistake. Something that I would 1000% avoid doing in the next match. And it's going to be explained here, because you guys will probably, well, if you didn't notice how Nova all of a sudden got a lot tankier. Or more specifically, here I'm activating my level 3. And we're going to see that poison is ticking away there for 7,000 at 14 stacks. And his health is absolutely melting. 7,000. And now I'm going to do the right thing, which is I'm going to pause that poison. But then I thought, like, look at that. That poison doesn't have too much duration on it. So I'm going to push myself to level 2. Activated level 2. But all of a sudden that poison does 2,570. And what is the reason for it? Obviously, because Nova's damage reduction from unblockable attacks also affected refreshed poison damage. So from this point forward in the fight, you can see that Noah's health is not disappearing remotely as fast as it used to. And that is because I refreshed it with an unblockable attack. So the big bad mistake. Well, here is a stupid mistake as well. I should have been faster in refreshing my poisons. And this end was a bit scuffy too. But the big mistake here, where I have the 14 poisons and Nova, I'm gonna use level 1, pause the poisons, and only thing I should have done is throw a level 1 here instead of pushing me to level 2. I should have thrown a level 1 and then another level 1, and the fight would have been over very quickly. But since I used level 2, I basically cut my own poison damage by 2/3, by 70%. And that extended the fight unnecessarily. The fight would have been significantly quicker. And obviously here he takes significantly less damage from all of the unblockable hits and all that stuff. And yeah, I do have the indestructible 3 boost if I survive. But yeah, the big stupid here was never have used at level 2. Level 2 is pointless. You need to go level 3 and then spam level 1s against Noah, evidently. Either way, though, did not die, so that's good. And well, the war is technically ongoing, and if we die like 5 times in the next 5 fights, then we can lose it. But it does look like we have this one in the bag. We are winning on time, and we are 4 deaths ahead as well. We only have like 5 fights left to clean up, and I don't think any of them are anything major. So we are basically set to win this war against Savage Squad, which would make us 3-1 in the season. Unfortunately, we lost the previous war, which is quite annoying, but still. 3-1, not the worst. And, well, best of luck to Savage Squad in the rest of the Alliance War season. And, yeah, you guys enjoyed the video. See ya. Hello there, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about